Hey fellas, well, this isn't quite what I had in mind for her today. Hey, or at least even this month, however, since I planned to do a video on this movie that was a bit more elaborate, but given what day it is I wish any people who celebrate Merry Christmas or whatever you're into, who and thoughts since this is that time of year and realizing and help end this year on a much higher note than it started. I would definitely do a simple bit of like an anniversary vlog, because I like to do at least one of these every year. Some kind of milestone. 25 years of The Night Before Christmas, this film, which was directed by Henry Selick, as well as written by Tim Burton, who designed all the visual look of the film. When it first came out, many people did not know what to make of it. In fact, least of all Disney themselves, who were actually releasing it, they were initially under the impression that it would not do that well, even going so far as to release under the Touchstone Pictures over older audiences. Is kind of like what I think I might do with Fox once that merger's finalized, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Instead, the film became a whole new tradition and also became a relatively successful film to this day, inspiring many appearances and influencing many other visual looks, and actually managed to give people who had goth ideals, someone to identify with. Like some people like a Romeo and Juliet style romance, other people like Jack and Sally and how they could do. And in many ways, the film is kind of the antithesis of The Grinch. Whereas the title character in The Grinch as a bit of a curmudgeonly figure whose ill intentions end up not really causing much harm overall, whereas Jack is someone who's much more cheery and, despite his good intentions, and ends up causing a lot more harm. Oogie is also one of the most frightening villains I've seen in any age demographic, and how even though it hasn't been like an official sequel in film form, there have been other mediums. The PS2 game they had was also relatively underrated. As going, it was kind of like, if I was going to describe it, sort of like a more family version Devil May Cry or Bayonetta in hindsight. And very popular in Japan, it turns out, given how Jack has often made appearances to the Kingdom Hearts games, and like how Sora, Goofy, and Donald Duck always get all dressed up to go to Halloween Town. And it's definitely one of the how distinct visually. I've enjoyed how I've always had an appreciation for stop motion, how they can actually make everything look distinct. And even with it's just amazing how even when the remaster have come, including as recently this year, how little they had to change in order to make sure that. And big question is it still as good as people believe, or was just because we were younger? Well, as someone who's regularly, ever since I was very young, watched this movie from Halloween all the way to Christmas, I can say out of those times it still holds up. And it's not that uncommon a fan theory to suggest that it's kind of like like how, along with Corpse Bride and the remake of Frankenweenie at feature length, how they represent three different stages of life: childhood, adulthood, and the afterlife. And it's just a film that's, even though this isn't quite what I usually intend to have a full-on look at it, I think at this point it doesn't really need any more introduction. So I'm gonna go watch it again, and for on Disney XD since I was very small. I hope all of you are enjoying in the season, whatever you're doing. I shall see you again very soon. I definitely have some videos I want to get up for the end of the year. You'll most likely see some more reviews to help transition from 2018 to 2019, which go into more detail on my annual reflections of this channel. I shall definitely wish you all season's greetings for now.